welcome back to All Our Parts. I am your host, Jasmine Proctor, and I have missed recording so much, honestly. I have taken a large hiatus, mostly just needing to evaluate and redefine what my schedule looked like last year. And honestly, I feel like everyone collectively at the tail end last year was just exhausted. I think so much was shifting energetically and politically there was so much going on. And so I also wanted to give time and space for voices that needed to be heard and making space for that. And I hope for this show to speak more candidly about a lot of those topics and learn how I can use my platform to best support those who need it. But today I'm going to keep it a little light. I saw the trend 2024 ins and outs, and so I wanted to share with you my 2024 ins and out list. So let's get into it. So let's start with my ins list, which I'm pretty excited about. I think it's something different and it's not career or achievement oriented. And so I am really proud of myself for that because that mulls in my brain so often. And so my first item on my list of ins is rest. This culture, this society tells us that we are supposed to always be going, always improving. And even in my line, like even as a therapist, like I am supposed to facilitate helping people be the best versions of themselves. And in order for us to continue that work, we have to also be resting. We have to be willing to rest as hard as we're willing to work. And rest is not deserved or earned. You are owed rest. Your body needs rest, and not just sleep, reading, watching TV, enjoying your favorite meal, sleeping in every once in a while. Rest is so important. I spent 2 weeks off for Christmas. And let me tell you, that was the first time in years where I had nothing to do. I was working towards nothing. I was just being. I rented out a quiet Airbnb in Rehoboth, which it's winter, so no one was there. And I could hear my thoughts and I could hear the water, and it was so quiet. And I need to start prioritizing taking more time to be still, to be very present in the moment, because I found it to be very grounded and very centering to come into this new year. So yeah. The second thing on my list is embracing my creativity. So about a year or two ago, I started getting back into painting. I really struggled with art when I was growing up. Of course, as a perfectionist, I wasn't good at it, and so I didn't want to do it. But I would say about a few years ago, I started painting, and I found it to be really cathartic. I found it to be very centering. It allowed me to put on canvas maybe what I couldn't put into words, but I allowed my emotions to be expressed on paper through paint. And I enjoy writing. I enjoy writing poetry. Of course, like any good poet, typically my best poetry is when I am not feeling the best, so I do not always write. I do not find that to be a fun outlet all the time, but I am journaling more. I'm learning to journal more often too when I am feeling grateful. A lot of times I will pull to my journal when I am feeling down, when I am struggling. But being able to write out, no, today I'm having a good day, has been the most beneficial thing. And so allowing myself to be creative, allowing myself to pour into hobbies, allowing myself to just enjoy for the sake of enjoyment, not for the interest of being good at something or being better or achieving it or getting to this end. Like just being able to indulge a little bit in a healthy way for me has been really satisfying. Next thing on my list is bright colors in my wardrobe. I have toyed with maroon. I've toyed with olive. I do love a good olive in the fall. If you know me, I'm wearing olive. But in the spring and summer, I do not always dabble in bright colors. And so about last year, I started buying brighter colors. I bought pink shorts. I was buying neutral t-shirts and wearing brighter button-ups to go with it. I got these bright colored blazers and that I'm obsessed with them and I would wear them all the time. And I realized like how much I love color in my wardrobe. It allows me, it's another aspect of the creativity piece that I was just speaking to. And it feels good to not feel like I want to hide. And yes, that is layered. Feeling like I want to be seen and feeling like I want people to see me, but also doing it for me. Like it's satisfying to wear a bright color and to play with my wardrobe. And also, if you know me, I love sneakers. I'm excited to start incorporating really cool sneaker colors and just upping my fashion game. And next, last but certainly not least, is an early bedtime. Yes, I said it, early bedtime. I am not a spring chicken anymore in that I'm not 21. I get tired very easily, and that's okay. I think that's also contributed to how I like to plan my social engagements. I think I'm okay with not being able to stay out until 2 a.m. partying my ass off. Like, I need to go to bed. I need 8 hours of sleep. I need to be resting because it really throws me off when I get out of my sleep routine and I am very agitated. I'm not pleasant when I get no sleep. When my fiance and I went on a road trip to Myrtle Beach, and let's just say I tried to do it overnight, and that was actually, we both unanimously agreed that anything longer than 2 hours is a flight for both of us, and we're okay with that. I am not a road trip person. I am grateful that she puts up with me sometimes, but I gotta go to bed like 9, 10 o'clock. I gotta be at least in bed. Like sometimes every once in a while, if I know I get a late start in my day, I'll stay up and watch TV and eat some snacks. But for the most part, I'm asleep at 10 p.m. But I also wake up at 5:30, 6 o'clock. So that's also my early riser. Love my mornings. The last thing on my ends list is saying no. I like to think that I have good boundaries, but I think that last year there were a lot of moments where I could have said no or could have just been honest, and I wasn't, and I found myself feeling really stretched thin at a lot of different points. I'm not interested in putting myself in that position ever again. And so thankfully a lot has settled, and I think my self-esteem is in a different place where I feel like I can say no. But it's also getting out of that scarcity mindset, being able to say no to an opportunity, and at first feels really hard, but then if I am not living in scarcity mindset, then that means another opportunity will come and the right one will feel. But yeah, that is my 2024 ins list. Let's get into the outs. I kept the outs short because I'm not one to block my blessings in a new year. And so the first one is neglecting my own wants and needs. And this kind of ties into that saying no piece in my ins list. I know what I want. I get to honor myself and I get to give myself what I want and what I need, whether that's rest, whether that is pivoting in my career, whether that is choosing to end a relationship, choosing to end a role that no longer serves me. I think it's okay to outgrow spaces, and I think I'll definitely talk about this more later on in the year. Some things have its time, and it's okay to say, hey, my time's up. And the part I struggle with letting go is I think it's a moral failing for me. I think that when I choose to quote unquote quit something or choose to end something, that I am giving up, that I am terrible, that I don't have the strength or the gumption to finish what I started. And I am trying to work to not lock myself into that headspace. And so, again, trusting my intuition, trusting that I know what works for me, and I can either communicate what I want and need out of something and continue to cultivate or grow it, or I can decide that, you know what, this is not going to lend me the results that I'm seeking, and I get to say goodbye. And I have appreciated being able to practice that in various spaces. I deserve to honor myself and how I feel, and I deserve to treat myself with the utmost respect that I would treat anyone else. Second thing on my outs list is neglecting and suppressing my intuition. I have a strong gut feeling, and 97% times I'm right. The other 3% is like trauma, and I've got to pay attention to that. And sometimes I am misreading a situation big time. But 97% of the time, I know. I'm like, I have a weird feeling about this, but I'm like, I'm curious, and curiosity bites me in the ass. So that's why I'm not feeling super curious anymore. If I am feeling like, I gotta go, I'm ready for bed, I don't want to be here, I don't want to go, I ain't going, I'm staying home, I'm not talking to you. I also am content with where my life is at the moment. So I think branching out feels a bit right now, but we'll see. That typically ebbs and flows for me. Staying in relationships that no longer serve me, whether that's professional, whether that's personal, whether that's family. I'm not interested in sitting with disrespect anymore. I have tolerated so much in my life. I have allowed myself to be a doormat to some, a punching bag to some, a mirror to some, and I am not interested in that. I am so blessed with the relationships that I have in my life. I am so grateful that I am surrounded by people right now who love me, who challenge me and want to see me grow, but also support me. I can't handle the backhanded jealousy anymore. I can't handle the coaching friends, the ones who I think really benefited from me having a lot of uncertainty and low self-esteem in some areas. And so new year, new me, new year, same me, but I am only interested in nurturing and fostering relationships that are mutually reciprocal, where mutual respect exists, where mutual love exists. Yeah, I will definitely be talking more about relationships and attachment and just my own journey with it as well on the show. My theoretical orientation, the way I like to practice counseling is from an attachment lens, and just through this first year of being a rookie therapist, counseling intern, I have seen the benefit, also being a rookie intern with my own therapist, where I've been with the same therapist for the last 4 years. I see the benefit in being vulnerable. I see the benefit in allowing myself to be supported. When I tell you, that has been the biggest revelation, is realizing the ways that I've held myself back from being supported by other people, and how that has made my life infinitely harder. But I also need to trust that the people that I am looking to fall on are going to catch me. I am thankful that I am in the space now where I 100% feel that way. Allowed me to flourish both in my professional world but also in my personal world. I feel like I am able to be a better friend, and I want to be a better friend. I have had to hold a mirror up to myself and look at myself and be aware of the ways that I maybe was not present in my relationships, where I wasn't available and where I could have handled things differently. And I have forgiven myself, and the only thing that I do work to do now is to be the best friend that I can be to those around me, and be the best partner, and be all the things to the people it matters to. So that's my ins and outs list. Thanks for tuning in. Have a great week. I love ya. I'll talk to you soon.